Pixel's January 2026 update is the most important update Pixel has ever received, but there is a catch. The narrative surrounding the Pixel 10 has been dominated by the Tensor G5's rocky start. Despite the promise of Google's custom silicon, launch reviews in October were marred by reports of high-end gaming lag and system-level freezing. This January patch offers what Google calls general improvements for GPU performance, and Google has been quietly pushing incremental GPU tweaks since the fall, but this release feels like the definitive attempt to address the baggage of the Pixel 10 series carried from launch. As a lifelong Pixel user, sure, I get excited about each and every monthly update, scouring through the changelog to see what improvements US Pixel users can expect, and each time I read line by line looking for three little letters, GPU. The Pixel 10 series launched with embarrassing benchmark performances. I mean, 3-year-old flagship phones were putting up better numbers. Hell, at times my Pixel 8 and 9 would regularly outscore the new Pixel 10 on Geekbench. As each month passed by after the release of the Pixel 10, I would run benchmark test after benchmark test, expecting Google to slide in a GPU performance update or some sort of improvement, and each month I was left with very little encouragement. In recent months, the changelog would state GPU improvements. I would get all excited, update my device, benchmark, and nothing. So when we got word that this month's January update would include GPU driver updates and improvements, I sort of rolled my eyes. I read, though, the changelog like every month, and this month's changelog does bring a fix for HDR content when viewing and or editing. Touchscreen reliability that resolves an issue where the Pixel 10's screen would intermittently stop responding to touch. Battery drain management with a fix for excessive power consumption. Always-on display stability fixes that addresses a flickering issue, as well as media and UI stability fixes. The GPU driver updates specifically upgrade the Vulkan drivers to version 1.4, as well as the newest drivers for the PowerVR DXT48-1536 GPU. The Pixel 10 series GPU at launch came right out of the box with outdated drivers version 24.3. This new January update was getting the latest PowerVR GPU driver version 25.1. Let's update and test. Expecting an increase in my benchmark scores, I was devastated and literally laughed out loud at the results. I got worse results with the new GPU driver update than on most all of my previous testing. I sat back and thought, something is not right. How could the results be worse than before? I started wondering if the beta program increases performance on the Pixel 10. So I enrolled the Blue Pixel 10 on the beta program. Took about 10 minutes to download the latest Android 16 QPR2 Beta 2 and restart the device into the beta world. After restarting, I let the phone settle into the new operating system for a few minutes. I made sure I didn't have any app updates and went on over to Geekbench 6 to test things out. First, I ran the OpenCL GPU test. Got the score of 4,524. Okay. Then I ran the Vulkan GPU benchmark test. 4,130. All right. The scores didn't quite hit me until I went over to the History tab on the Geekbench app and physically compared the test score. Holy shit. They did it. They really did it. Google finally significantly increased the graphics performance of the Pixel 10 series. I can't believe it, honestly. After 6 months of bitching and complaining, and not to mention Google teasing us with changelogs that would mention GPU performance improvements, but seeing no real-world improvement, they finally did it. My test scores indicated a real-world GPU improvement of 12%. I know that might not be world-changing, but after seeing these scores literally get worse with each monthly update, these scores turn up big time. I went back on some previous data with previous Pixel devices, and there has not been an improvement of over 10% in performance on any one monthly update ever on any Pixel. So this is an amazing and historic performance increase for the Pixel line of devices. Now, there is one catch to this performance find. You will have to be enrolled into the beta program to get this boost in performance. The Android 16 QPR2 Beta 2 changelog, it did also mention Wi-Fi performance and stability improvements as well. And of course, I tested that too. Not an extensive test with multiple devices. Just one other device was needed for this comparison. The OnePlus 15 with its all-new dedicated Wi-Fi 7 capable Snapdragon X85 chip. And the results? Staggering. The improvements Google developers made to the Pixel 10's Samsung Exynos 5400 modem has it right on par with the fastest Android device you can buy. The scores, upload and download speeds, ping. All the results were neck and neck, within 1 to 2% of Android's best performing devices. And I'm actually very happy with these results and finally feel like Google has started to address some of its customers' #1 complaint, the performance. If you want to experience the boost in performance, enrolling into the beta program is very easy. So easy, in fact, it's just 3 simple clicks. 1 to enroll, 1 to check for an update, and 1 to restart the device after you start the process. I'm going to link Google's beta program in the description box down below. The Google developers website link below has all the necessary instructions neatly laid out for you if you choose to do so. If you have already enrolled your Pixel in the beta program, please test it on Geekbench and let me know if your results are similar to mine. I'm interested to hear your input.